Alright, hey YouTube, today we are going to do a deep cleanse and apple cider vinegar rinse. We've got our apple cider vinegar, baking soda, sea salt, some lemon juice, and some essential oil. Today we're going to be using lemon and eucalyptus. We're going to use half a cup of baking soda, a cup of apple cider vinegar, about 1/8 cup of sea salt, a few drops of the oil, maybe 5 to 10, somewhere like that, and a squirt or two of the lemon juice. I've got the basin here that I ordered on Amazon. It's just a hair washing basin. It's got the neck cut out. I filled it up to the first little line here. I've also got a pot of water on the stove to get a little extra heat, a little hotter than what my tap will do. I would say as hot as you can stand, but you still need to be able to put your hands in and work the hair. You want to work out anything that's built up. If you ever use wax, this is a good way to get rid of wax. The super hot water, the reaction between the baking soda and the vinegar will literally lift any residue, dust, lint, dead skin cells, sweat, anything that's built up in your hair over time if you use shampoos that maybe left residue. These Dreadlocks are 6 years old. He got them in 2013. This is my buddy Zero. And he's done standard washes and maintenances, and he's done one deep cleanse. It's been a while. We're curious to see how it comes out and maybe get him on a regular schedule of doing this more often. Friends of mine that have done them have told me their Dreadlocks come out incredibly lighter and much cleaner, obviously, from the videos you see of people dumping the water out. Alright, so far all we've got is the hot water in the basin. We are going to add the ingredients. We've got half cup of baking soda, about 1/8 cup of sea salt, lemon juice, give it a little squirt, essential oils, about 10 drops, and this will be where we have the reaction. And that's what's going to clean his hair out really good. I like to make sure there's not clumps. I don't think it's that important.
Oh, it smells good.
It smells amazing. Very lemony, very citrusy. A lot of people do like to put the baking soda directly on the Dreadlocks, rub their hair with the hot water and baking soda, and then pour the apple cider vinegar on, and it will boil it out of the hair. It can most definitely be done that way as well, but for this time I've chosen to break all the clumps up first, and we'll put his hair in and we'll go from there. Alright, you ready to put it in? You want to guide it in? The water is not too hot.
Can you do it?
I will most definitely.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And once it's all in, I'll start the timer.
Yeah. Just get you wet and make sure I'm not missing that neck piece. You can kind of squeeze between here. Alright. We're going to let these soak for a minute, and then we will come back and work them a little more and drain it, and we will go again for a second soak. See you shortly. Alright, we did finish the first 20-minute soak. We are draining the tub. Water's pretty dirty.
Nice.
Means the hair's pretty clean. We're happy about that. And We are going to get this prepared and do it again. The same exact deal. This particular brand and this kind, spent $18.39 on it at a natural food store. That we only used we're going to use 2 cups of it today, you know, so I would say this could last you like maybe 10 washes or less, somewhere right in there. Paid $1.05 for the baking soda, pretty cheap. You know how much salt and lemon juice is. He paid $5 for this essential oil. There's other oils that have good qualities and benefits you can get, or just scents you might like. And we're ready for the next soak. This is after our first 20-minute soak. What we've got. Water's pretty murky. We got a plug in here somewhere. Here it is. There's the plug. And now we're draining. Alright, before our second wash, I did want to get his hair out so I could dump all of this out. The drain did drain the water, but it didn't drain all of the funk that we wanted to get out. Bring that where you can see the final dirty water dump. Honestly, I've seen worse. Even though his dreads are mature and old, his dreads are actually fluffier and softer than some other dreads I have dealt with. They're actually, you know, they're not rock hard. So he probably does pretty good on regular washes. We're going to rinse out as much of that dirty water that we can. So we're starting as clean as we can for our second soak. I did scrub this sink out. If you're going to be using your kitchen sink, they say that your kitchen sink is dirtier than your bathroom, all parts of it. So make sure you clean your sink well. When things get trapped in your hair, they can live there, breathe there, become some kind of colony of fungus or mildew or bacteria. It's definitely important that we're washing our dreads. Mostly important that we're drying our locks. Don't want to leave wet hair sitting, don't want to sleep with wet hair. And these deep cleanses are great. The oils that you can get to use that will help fight like antimicrobial, antibacterial, the apple cider vinegar and baking soda, I believe balance the pH of your hair. I could be wrong with that, I'm no scientist. I know it's recommended at least twice a year. I would think once a year is good, maybe at the end of summer, after you've been sweating all summer. You know, go through and get a clean wash, a good deep clean, be fresh and light for the winter. You could do it more often. Maybe you work at a job where you're like a river guide. I saw a guy on YouTube with dreadlocks that he was a river guide. He said he washed his dreads every day because he was out in the river and they were getting full of sand. Maybe you're that guy and you want to do deep cleanses more often. Alright, we're going to get this filled up and get another batch going. Alright, soap number 2. We got salt. We got baking soda. Lemon juice. Essential oil. 10 to 12 drops. Smelling nice. The apple cider vinegar gives us our nice reaction. A little bit hotter than it was last time.
Hey, baby.
Alright. Probably want to keep your scalp away from it for a few minutes. It's still pretty warm. Those dreads. You'll love it. And just a little bit of extra baking soda here. I'm going to put on top. Into the Dreadlocks. A little bit of apple cider vinegar. That's how I see a lot of the other videos do it from the get-go. They get the baking soda in, and then add into the hair, and then add the apple cider vinegar. That way that sizzling is actually happening inside the Dreadlocks. Got our timer started?
Yeah.
We're going to sit for another 20 minutes, 20 minutes each time. That's what's recommended. Seems the water is still warm at the end of 20 minutes. And we're going to go to time lapse for that. Alright, we're just finishing our second 20-minute soak. I was questioning how valid the second soak even was, especially in the beginning. The water was a lot clearer than it was initially on the first soak. The first soak, as soon as I put the hair in, it was obviously dirty, needed to go. Second soak, it took a while, but after a while, some of the dreads really started letting loose of some of the inner, like, dead skin pieces and any residue they're retaining. So we're draining now, and we're going to do another quick little wash through and put some more fresh water in here. We're going to put some baking soda. I'm going to scrub that in like I've seen done on some really old locks. It's really lifted stuff. And then put the vinegar on after scrubbing the baking soda in and let it really boil that stuff out. Because some of these locks are really starting to ooze out what we're wanting to get out. And so I say the second soak is totally valid, maybe even a third soak. The more the merrier, especially if you've never done one or if you haven't done one in years. I think the best is just getting on a regular regimen, doing them like they say every 6 months or so, or maybe every 3 months would be even better. Especially if you get you one of these basins, it's pretty simple. You wouldn't have to do a double soak each time. You could do like 1 20-minute soak every 3 months. Hopefully, if you've got this much hair, you can have a significant other. If you've got short dreadlocks, you could still use this or even a bowl. I've got another video where a friend of mine used a bowl, so your kitchen sink will work. Just make sure you scrub it out and clean it. You don't want any of the bacteria in your kitchen sink getting in your hair. And you can hear that the tub is drained. Alright, now we can put your neck back in it a little better. I want to get a good scrub in. Make sure to close the plug. Hot water. I don't have any super boiling this time. We're just going to do just the hot water. It'll get the job done. Get one final scrub in. So with this, we did end up using one whole box of $1.05 baking soda.
Will the time still be 20 minutes?
No, we're not going to let you soak. I think you've done enough soaking. I just think we really need to do a good scrub. All this stuff that's coming out, I felt bad scrubbing it out with dirty water on what was already in there. So we had to rinse anyway. All of that that we just dumped out, we would have to rinse. So this will help them rinse, as well as get the wash in that I want to get. Some people just use a baking soda water mixture for their shampoo on the regular. Just in the shower, they'll have like a bottle where they've mixed up some baking soda and water, and they use that to shampoo their hair. Baking soda absorbs the oils from your scalp really well, and it's a good detergent. Alright, coming in with our baking soda. We're really going to massage that in, especially along the scalp. Final rinse. Apple cider vinegar. It's like about a cup again. Using the same amount of water, and it was the same amount of baking soda, maybe a little more. I'm not going to do the salt this time. We're not soaking. The salt really helps with tightening. I am going to put some essential oil and a sprinkle of lemon before we rinse out, so he doesn't walk away smelling like vinegar. That's really part of what the essential oil is for the whole time. And this smells really good. It has a great citrus smell. So that time the fizz reaction was a lot slower because the baking soda is like dissipated in his hair, instead of like when we just poured it in the basin without his hair in there. The reaction was a little slower, but it did fizz up as expected. And I feel like that's doing the actual lifting of residue. You can see how dirty our water is here. And this is our third time. You can see too if you want 0.
Oh shit. Oh yeah.
It's not as dark, but we're still definitely getting stuff out. Keep in mind the apple cider vinegar is brown as well. Part of the color is going to be the apple cider vinegar. You're not going to have perfectly clear water if you pour a cup of brown fluid into it. Alright. Lemon. Pull this hair out of the way a little bit to add this oil in the water. lemon eucalyptus oil. Smells amazing. I would recommend it. I got it for $5 at like a natural food store when he picked up the vinegar. $5.65 US dollars. I'm not sure if the camera will focus on that. Lemon and eucalyptus. Says it mixes well with thyme oil, lavender oil, or rosemary. I know lavender and rosemary are good for dreadlocks, as well as tea tree. Everyone knows, sorry. And the attributes are clarifying, cleansing, and invigorating. I imagine at this point his scalp is feeling invigorated. I know we've done some cleansing, and the water is clearer than it was, so I'd say we've done some clarifying.
I can say it feels lighter, like definitely a lot cleaner. Even though we haven't dried them off yet. Feels super good.
Nice. And they do feel good. They feel good. They look good. They don't have that white, almost like a residue you could see that was like lifted off before. After our second soak, you could see it's still sitting on there. That's why I wanted to do the third quick little rinse. We're going to drain that, rinse with water, get him dry. He'll probably do his regular shower routine in the next day or so. But again, in my opinion, your weekly showers, once, twice, 3 times a week. I recommend once or twice a week at least in the winter, and 2 or 3 times a week in the summer. And I really feel like those you should be focusing on your scalp. You're really wanting to remove dead skin from your scalp so you're not itching all day. You want to remove the sweat and the dirt and the grime. You're not necessarily wanting to soak your locks through and through with shampoo. That's not necessarily a good thing. You want to soak your scalp, scrub your scalp. Let the water run the soap down the length of your dreads. That's going to freshen up your dreads, freshen up the smell. Obviously wash away any dust that's on the outside. But you're not going to be able to avoid lint, dust, and sweat and skin cells eventually working their way into the dreadlocks. That's why it's important to do these deep cleanses. I really believe the weekly washes are for your scalp and skin care and to smell fresh, while the deep cleanses are important for the health of your dreadlocks. Very important. Keep them clean, dry, and happy. Clean, dry hair knot's the best. If you don't wash your hair and your hair's all oily, all this loose hair can never dreadlock. If you're not washing your hair and it's just sweaty and oily, this will never be able to be frizzy and dry and attached to the dreadlock that's ahead of it. You want to keep your hair clean and dry. It's very important. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time.
I would say my hair feels much lighter. It, even though it is still slightly wet, we did blow dry it and dry it with a hand, not a hand towel, but dry it with a towel. And still just gonna have that water in there, but still feels lighter than before. So whatever was in there is out. It feels a lot drier, smells good, feels clean. I can see my scalp clearly, and I would say that third wash probably helped the most because it got that extra gunk of whatever it was out. The second wash is good, but I'm assuming if you were to do it more often, maybe it would actually benefit you. But I would say a third if you haven't done it in ever, or if you haven't done it in a while. But overall, I recommend doing a deep cleanse, and I don't know, I guess twice a year to 3 times to 4 times, but I don't know. Depends how active you are and what you do, but I recommend doing it. I recommend a deep cleanse.
Nice. Turn around, let's see him. Yeah.
Nice.
Man. They got that natural ombre where the sun has kissed the ends. They look good, man. You should be proud.